Morning.
Hey Jeff, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you doing, Nicholas? You go by
I'm
Nicholas or Nick or
whatever works for you. My name's at Nicholas Nick, so I can't be too picky.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so it looks like I got one of your breakdowns here.
Yeah, I just saw something come through like an update. So it looks like it's on the our Georgia mailers and cold call or not. Yeah, we mailed it and then y'all are doing cold calls and text for that one.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. And then you guys are doing this is multifamily
This one is land.
land. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's just this is yeah, okay. I can totally see that. All right, cool. So I'll cover these stats with you real quick, and then my team should have the other campaign done by the time we're done talking about this one, I believe. So for this one, we did 5,500 dials,
Okay.
490 people picked up, which is pretty good. It's an 8.91% contact rate. I'd say that's a little bit below average. Nothing to be alarmed about. You know, I'd say great is 11% plus. Good is 8 to 11, you know, and then bad would be under 8, you know, anything
Gotcha.
in the sevens. Okay. And then on those, you got 30 leads, which is awesome. Okay. So that one turned out pretty good. Then on the 490 people that picked up, only 90 told us that we had the wrong number, which is amazing. So that means 82% of the people we spoke to were the right number,
Got it.
which is good. And then for text messaging, we did 4,353 text sent, and we did 374 responses, which is pretty good. But the leads, that's really huge, right? If we're averaging one lead per 100 text messages, one lead per 100 anything is pretty amazing as a good indicator. I know texting leads can often be, I call them like the ugliest lead you can get, because, you know, I think that replying to a text is such a low qualifier. It's like
Right.
so easy, like anybody could do it. Still a great bang for your buck. And that's why we like it, because it's so inexpensive. It's like a third of the cost of cold calling. So it kind of makes sense if the leads are 3 times uglier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this looks pretty good. Your texting leads were great. Your cold calling leads, I'd say your cold calling leads were just good. You know, not really great.
Yeah.
You know, I see that. I want to take a look at like what happened in like this week with the 1,600 and
Yeah.
50 dials that we did. I wanna take a look into that as well. So give me 1 second. I want to make a note to the team. How did the how'd the campaign go on your side? You know, where this is only like a numerical analysis. How did everything
Right.
go with the leads? Any contracts or closings or anything coming up?
So no contracts, no like super low hanging fruit. We just kind of revamped our follow-up and like how we're organizing our leads into Trello. Just because I figured, you know, this might be like a 8 to 12 touch type situation. And I haven't done texting or cold calling. So you know, I didn't really know what to expect. I just kind of wanted to see how many leads came through.
The whole board.
And then from there, you know, I'm not measuring these KPIs necessarily. In my mind, I was like, I want to know how many text or cold calls to like a contract, and then text or cold calls to like an actual closed deal. Because otherwise, I'm just like filling my brain up with these random numbers. Well, they're random to me right now until I understand them better. But really just trying to see what type of, you know, I didn't really know what to expect. I was kind of just going in with an open mind. But now I know that my lead manager is still working through some of these leads, because this is like a lot more things, even though, because now
What?
we used to send like blind offers. So this is more like a neutral letter type response, right? In our
Yeah,
mind. So
yeah.
he's doing a lot more filtering than he's had to do before. But we're working through that. We figured the first round or so would be just getting the kinks out and like improving the lead flow process type deal. So
No, that's great. And that's actually how a lot of like the pros come to us, right? I have a lot of people hire us and they realize that their current system that they have isn't really built around what we offer. I think a lot of people can see like the validity, but cold calling, I think, is a way more relationship play, you know? And I think with land, I don't know how you do it, but with land, I know the ease of land is really attractive. I actually am an executive at a land coaching company. And
Yep.
even there, they're like, I don't want to get on the phone. I just want to mail offers, you know, and it's like, you can do that, but you're just going to cut your performance by a tenth if you just mail an offer, or even if you call and say, hey, just mailed you an offer. Thought I'd just call and meet you for a couple minutes. You spoke to my team member, the other, you know what I mean? Just, spread good vibes all over them. You
Yeah,
know, I recently spoke at a mastermind, and it's like, if you were selling something and someone you didn't like came up to you and said, is this for sale? The answer would be no.
right.
So if that's the case, then what happens when you like the person? Right? It's going to be the opposite. You're going to get the best price depending on how much they like you. Right. And how valid they think you are. And I think that's one of the big switches for cold calling is it's more like an experience you put the seller through to get the lowest price. It's almost like a game show. Come on down. What do we got more? It's like you got to like keep those great warm and fuzzies, in my opinion, to really maximize it. But to answer some of your questions, what other clients have seen is about 1 in 13 to 1 in 20 leads, I think, leads to a closed deal. Now, what I tell people is in the first round, it might be 1 in 30 leads to get you your first deal. And then once you've got the momentum and the pipeline and the processes, then it drops down to 1 in 12 to 1 in 20 kind of thing.
Right.
So that's probably what I would anticipate right now, is something along those numbers. I'd see that we might be at, with 75, and that's a lot. And, I know some of the textings are really throwaway, I'm sure, because that's just what happens with texting. But even if we just consider the 30 cold calling,
Yeah.
I would expect, 2 or 3 contracts to go out from that and 1 to close, right? If I'm being realistic,
Yeah.
with, is kind of, what I would see like from our average customers perspective.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then how'd the leads look? Have you put your hands on any of them, or do you know if some of them are super close, or how was the team's vibe about using our service?
Yeah. So far, I started meeting. Well, I had to add another meeting a week to my my lead manager, just because, like I said, he's getting a lot more leads than he was used to. But I know he's saying a lot of them want like retail or higher than after we kind of run the numbers on it. I think some are, I know he still has a handful that he was trying to get through. I think it was after this last Saturday. For some reason, I think it might've been a ton of text leads that just came in. So I know he's got a lot of stuff that he's just not used to having to go through. And then we kind of didn't pre-filter our list like we normally do. So a lot of times we'll kind of have I have another VA that comes in and like checks for road access, like wetlands, and we kind of pre-scrub that. But here we're just like, let's just try Georgia. Let's just use priced. Let's just put some parameters in and just end it, right? Just just not waste time, because it takes a lot of time to scrub,
Yeah.
5,000 leads.
And just so I'm with you too. Like, I think land is a little different, and I know that you guys have your parameters and everyone's got their perfect fit, and stuff. But, I think sometimes the filtering, unless you have a real system for it, I think the filtering kills momentum sometimes, you know what I mean? And so I actually, that attitude is my attitude. I'm like, let's run it. We'll fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think that that's cool. At least we showed up with 70, right? I mean, I think that that's a great indicator of like, wow, okay, so there's something here. So now, and just so you know too, Jeff, I can work with you and your lead manager. If when he's done, you want to book another meeting and say, Nick, let's talk about what we saw. What processes do you think? I don't just stop at feeding you leads. I am a systems and processes expert. I do want you to use me forever, right? Selfishly. And because of that, I want you to have the best systems in the world, right? Yeah. Selflessly, so just to share with you too, if whenever this is done, all three of us, you want us to get on the horn and really chisel out the perfect system to follow up with our leads, I'd be more than happy to create that with you.
All right, cool. Awesome. Did the Texas text campaign come through yet from your team? I'd be curious to see the differences between
No, it didn't. What I'll do though, what I'll do is I'll have my team send you a copy and me a copy of this as well. So that way you'll have your own. I think that they're working on it right now.
Okay. Well, yeah, now that you kind of explain how this broke down, I can probably just extrapolate.
Sure.
So is this campaign done?
It looks like
it looks pretty close to it, I assume.
Yeah, it looks like there's 1,000 dials and 47 texts remaining. So, so like your other list, I guess, did you do only texting on it? Is that what happened?
Yeah. So Georgia was cold call text. The Texas list was just text. And then I sent another campaign of like 6,500 records. And I think that's just skip and text as well. So we just started that one as well.
Okay, so that was the other one. And then what we could do too is if these 1,100 dials are left over, we could just throw that at the other list too.
Okay.
If you wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, so okay, gotcha. So then in this case, with the 1,000 dials left, does it just circle back to just like the front of the row and kind of goes down again? How does that work?
Well, yeah, so it's actually your call. So if I'm, I don't know if these naming conventions or how many records. Yeah. So see these quantities here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is accurate, but is this right? 37 records and 132 records?
No, it's probably like 1,037.
Oh, 1,037. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, so that's 1,100. Okay, so we got 2,300, 3,300. So it looks like at the moment, I would assume everyone's been dialed once. So what we can do is we can do one of two things. One, we can recycle it and dial them again. Two, we can move the 1,100 to the other list, whatever you want to do. It's your call.
Gotcha. Okay. And I guess there's no way to break down or to know like these leads, like the 17, 10, 1, and 2 for the cold call leads. We don't know. Well, I guess I'd have to comb through each lead to see like what county that came from, right? Or do you have something tracked like that on the back end that I'm not seeing?
Do you mean, are these the counties over here?
Yeah, those are the counties. Yeah, the GAs for Georgia.
Okay, so I believe if we send you, hold on 1 second. I believe if we send you a call log of only your leads on a spreadsheet, that our system will tell us on that log which list it came from. Does that make sense? So yeah. I'm going to have my team, please export a call log of only the leads. So that way you can see which county the leads came from.
Yes. And that'd be great if we could do that for the cold call and the text. That way we kind of know where to double down. Like I don't want to throw that 1098 dials at the county that did the least performance. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. No, I like that. And the other thing was, the texting isn't as clean. So I'll try to find out. I'll try to, the texting is really very manual for us. Gotcha. That's one of the reasons why it does continue to work and it's not banned. Yeah. But my team is still very organized. I'll see if they have something like
Okay.
that could do a breakdown.
Yeah, and there's not that many texts left anyways. I guess it'd be more important for the
The
cold call if you can't do the other one. So. But yeah, I'll probably just throw those remaining dials back at Georgia, probably to the better performing list. And it should cover pretty much each of those lists. There's maybe only one list that would be a little bit more in terms of quantity. So.
And I told them to pause your campaign until you update us on which list you want us to focus on.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Awesome. All right. You got anything else for me, Jeff?
No, I'll just be on the lookout for the similar thing, but for the
Yeah.
Texas one. And then what's the link to set up do I just once I get these come without having to set up a call with you, or how does that work?
These reports
Yeah,
that are here. So they can, if you ever want one of these, you can request one yourself. Okay. You can just email us. I call these IRs, for investigative reports. That's what they are for me. That way, like they give me entire snapshots of the whole campaign. That's why I call them that. So you can request these from my team at any time. Okay.
Gotcha.
What we do is when we deliver them, or if you wanted to wait, if you want to see them every week, if you meet with me, we cover it together, or we can talk about acquisitions, or we can talk about lead gen, or we can talk about shitty results and making them better, right? We can brainstorm. This isn't always like a presentation or anything. This could be whatever you want it to be, is what I'm saying, too, just so you know. But if you just want the data, you can just request that right from my team. If you do request it at the end, as you see, we automatically break it up week over week for you as well.
Gotcha. And is something like this inside the portal? Like I haven't even logged into the portal. Okay.
Not yet. Yeah, the portal shit right now.
Okay.
Just to be transparent. I'm putting like 40 G's into the website and automations and stuff. So we should be seeing right now, to be transparent, like I'm a great manager and a great leader. And what I do is I've got a bunch of employees doing like a bunch of manual shit, and I have been for years. Well, we're really growing right now, and they're still succeeding, but I'm like, I want their bandwidth back. You know what I mean? So I just hired a dope ass programming developer company, and I'm taking like half of our tasks and I'm like making them like a one-click button. So these IRs, my goal for them is that with literally a click of a button, they can be generated. Right now, it's completely manual. My team has to pull the report and disseminate all the info, and they're awesome at it, and we don't mind. That's not what I'm saying. But soon, we will have a portal. You can and then see all of your updates. And when I say soon, I probably mean 6 months. But yeah, it's coming.
All right, cool. And then if I believe for this list, y'all emailed the skip trace results, but I didn't get them for some of the other ones. Is that just simply, I just need to request your team like, hey, can I get the results of the skip?
Yeah, we should be sending those every time. So I'll definitely follow up with my team. If it was your first couple orders, they might be in your spam or promotions. But it is policy for us to return everything every time. But I'll follow up with them as well and add that to the list.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate your time today. Very insightful. We'll see. I'm going to work with my lead manager, see how we can fix things up, and I'll probably take you up on your offer to do that call to see how we can, smooth things out a little bit better.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm all over it, man. Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah, see you, man.
Bye.